I'm going to make this video a little more personal, a little more informal. And so, like so many of the conversations we've had, Ashwin, I will make this a conversation with you. I've enjoyed talking to you. I've enjoyed discussing cricket with you. I've enjoyed your inputs into the game. And now that you're done with it, I want to tell you that there will always be not a page, but a chapter for you in the history of Indian cricket. Beyond, with the respect that you got across the world, there will be much more. But you did phenomenally well. And I say so for two reasons. First, the numbers. And the numbers you achieved were phenomenal. 11 Player of the Series awards, fastest to 250 to 300 to 350 to 400. I'm sounding like an auctioneer now, to 450 to 500. And then eventually finishing with 537. 600s, I've always told you I was hoping there'd be a few more, but we'll put that aside for now. But 537 wickets. That's a colossal number. That's a gigantic number. It's the kind of number you can go back to your parents who put so much into your game and say, Amma, Appa, I did well, no? Hug your daughters, your wife. They'll be very, very proud of what you have achieved. The numbers tell the story, but the numbers tell half the story. You will be remembered even more so because you took your craft further. That is what all of us in our professions must seek to do. Can we enrich our profession? Can we take it even further? And by the way your mind was ticking, by the way you approached this game, you took your profession further. Whether it was the nuances of overspin and underspin and side spin and undercut and all the things you talk to me about, the carom ball, you took your profession further. And that, I think, is what earned you so much respect. I mean, I've seen Nathan Lyon, the other great finger spinner of our times, talk about how much he's learned from you. Here in Australia, I'm spending a lot of time with players who've played against you, and they always said when Ashwin was in the opposition, we spent a little more time in the team meeting talking about what he's likely to offer, what he's likely to do, and that is what earned you respect. The respect in your team you will always have because you are an unparalleled match winner. But the respect in the opposition camp, when people look at you, they say, what's he got up his sleeve now? On this track, what is he likely to do? Is he going to turn the ball differently? Has he got a different ball to bowl? Is the ball going to drop on us today? Is it going to be pushed through a little bit more? Because your mind was ticking constantly, people weren't quite aware of what was to come. And I think that, more than anything else, is what made you special. I also loved the fact that after you became a major international star, yes, you did, accept that. Even after you became a major international star, you went and played for your TNPL team. You did not forget your friends. You went and played with your friends and you played gully cricket, street cricket with them. And that told me that your love for cricket was not just playing at the highest level and all that came with it, the acknowledgements, the rewards, the attention, but you just loved the game. Sachin was a bit like that. You just loved the game. And I thought here was a true pilgrim. Here was a true lover of the game. And it will not surprise me at all if in a couple of days you're down by the streets and you're playing a tennis ball and you're holding it like and saying, okay, what will we do if it goes this way? Can I make it go this way? Because your mind will continue to tick. And I hope that ticking mind serves our game even more. I have no doubt that your Kuti stories will continue to entertain us, but something tells me that you will share your craft, that you will further the learning of the process of finger spin and share it with a lot more people. So I love that about you. I love the fact that you were always very candid in your conversations. I remember a time when India were in England and I thought the England finger spinner had outbowled the Indians. You sent me a message saying, did you really think so? You didn't agree with me. We had a discussion and you told me why you didn't agree with me, but the tone was never confrontational. It's not always been like that with everybody. So, and I really appreciated that the fact that you were willing to offer a different point of view, you're willing to suggest that maybe I was wrong, you had your own point of view on it, but it was never confrontational. It was, this is what I did, this is what that person did, these were the conditions. You fought your case always, but you never confronted people with your case. And I thought That was a nice way of doing it. Enjoyed the so many other conversations with you about the fact that you wanted to be on a quiz show, that you wanted to be an entrepreneur. I hope you go ahead and fulfill a lot of those ambitions because, you know, life is still starting, isn't there? So, I like the fact that you were a free spirit, that your mind was constantly willing to challenge, and that once you became very good at what you were doing, you were still willing to challenge. There are a lot of people who, when they become very good at what they do, now want to stay within what they do. They set themselves those limitations because they know that is what is working. They're afraid that if they do something else, it might harm their reputation, that they might fail. I saw in you that inquiring mind, and that is why I always use the word scientist with you. You were a spinner as much as you were a scientist because your mind was thinking all the time and you were not afraid of trying something new. And it was that inquiring mind, I think, that, I don't know, maybe added another 150 wickets to your kitty. In spite of all the magnificent spells that it has been my privilege to see, I don't know why, but I'll remember one moment, and that came with the bat. To keep your cool when two are needed or one ball in a very, very high pressure environment, and to leave a ball. One day we will sit and chat about what was going through your mind that caused you to leave a ball. One little clip of a little buckle somewhere in India lost a game, but you left that ball and then so casually lifted it over mid-off that day in Melbourne. And it seems strange to say that after 537 wickets and so many great performances that last over in the Champions Trophy, which I was privileged to call, that I'll remember this. But to me, it just showed how cool and calm you are. I've loved your views on the game. We share our views on people backing up too far, and I always thought that you got far more flack for that than you should have, but I don't think you cared too much. So, loved your views about the game. I'm going to end this little tribute to you with something that meant a lot to me. About 2016, 2017, when I was going through a phase when people were saying things to me, people were questioning me a great deal, and you were still a fairly youngish person. You actually reached out to me. I think it might have been in a hotel room in Pune or one of these places. You actually reached out to me and said, do you want to sit down and have a conversation on the art of spin bowling, on the craft of spin bowling? And what you were trying to tell me without saying so in as many words was, can I help you understand bowling so that you'll become a better broadcaster? And that meant the world to me, Ashwin. Because here's a young man offering to help someone so vastly experienced at becoming better at his profession because you thought that person was under attack. And that is why, when I met you today, when you were on your way to announcing your retirement, I was still hoping I could pull you back and say, don't. But your mind was made up. That was the reason behind the hug, that you did something when it meant a lot to me. So beyond all the wickets, beyond all the runs, beyond everything else, well played. You are an ornament to our game, and I wish you a lot more. So thank you for watching, and do subscribe to this channel.